Good afternoon, I'm Emily Crowe with Hunter News. AGL has confirmed the use of radioactive material at its coal seam gas operation near Gloucester. The materials being used by expert contractors are licensed in New South Wales, however the local community is still unsure about the risk it poses to their health and well-being. Julie Lyford of the anti-CSG group Groundswell Gloucester says the project does not have strong community support.
83% in a previous survey that was conducted by Gloucestershire Council are against further coal exploration and against coal seam gas in the Gloucester district. We also know that through AGL's own survey that they did in New South Wales, that only 13% of people fully support coal seam gas.
Tenders have been called to design and construct a new fire station zone opposite Rutherford, a project worth up to $10 million. Union officials have expressed concern that this may stretch budgets too tight and may result in some stations becoming unmanned. State Secretary of the Fire Brigade Employees Union Jim Casey is welcoming the new development, but is hoping that the development will not come at the expense of other stations. People across the Hunter today will acknowledge White Ribbon Day, which aims to address domestic violence and support its victims. Carey's Place in Maitland has received over $270,000 of funding from the Baird Grant government to assist the work they do for women and children in the community. Maitland MP Robin Parker says the funding is vitally important to help victims get through the court process.
Preventing domestic violence is a focus for the government, but this funding is to help those who find themselves in a court process. Legal Aid delivered more than 1 million legal services last year, and Carey's Place have received this funding to help with victims of domestic violence in the court proceedings.
Newcastle Council will be holding a confidential meeting tonight regarding the possibility of selling 6 blocks of community-owned lands. The meeting is being kept confidential to avoid providing commercial advantage to any buyers, but comes after a significant push from the public for transparency in local government. Newly elected Lord Mayor Nuwatali Nelms, however, is seeking to have the matter debated publicly when Council meets. Port Stephens Yakaba Women's Centre could receive help thanks to a new campaign being launched by the Save Our Women's Services Group this week. The Yakaba Centre has been successful in applying for temporary funding, however it requires certainty of future funding in order to continue the work it does for women and children in the community. Roxanne McMurray of the Save Our Women's Services Group says women's services have suffered under new government reforms.
Well, women's refuges in New South Wales have changed this year as a result of competitive tendering. There were around 100 women's refuges in New South Wales, and as a result of the state government's tenders, there's now 14 women's services that are run for women by women.
Now with sport, Will Martin.
Despite declaring no interest in owning the Knights, West's Group Chief Executive Phil Gardner is showing signs of a change of heart. Under the club's new management structure and with the salary cap now covered by the NRL, Gardner has indicated taking the reins could be a possibility depending on the decisions of West's members. Meanwhile, Darius Boyd has been returned to the Brisbane Broncos after being released from Newcastle 3 weeks ago. The emerging Jets program could be no more, with uncertainty surrounding the future ownership of the club. It comes as Jets management searched to replace Nathan Tinkler after he declared the team for sale in August. Chief Executive Robbie Middleby says while the program is a high priority, the club can't commit to anything beyond this year. And 16-year-old Blake Windred has taken out the Newcastle District Golf Championships. That's sport. I'm Will Martin.
2NURFM News Time is 12:10.